I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into the delightful world of the Frenchie Friends Trio, origin story by Dr. Kimberly Nokk. This charming tale follows three Frenchie friends, Max, Gunther, and Zeno, as they navigate friendship, teamwork, and humor while solving everyday challenges. Perfect for readers of all ages, this story is a fun and heartwarming reminder of the power of unity and embracing differences. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below the interview. Doctor, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me, Logan. Great to see you.
Great to see you. I love the book. It's so original, and I love dogs, particularly French bulldogs. And this, in part, was inspired by your own bulldog, Max, right?
Exactly, yes. Like you, I love dogs. I love bulldogs. They're just adorable little companions to have with, and
Yeah.
spending so much time with him and my son growing up as a baby. And then now he's 8 years old and reading all those books. It just inspired me to come up with my own.
So he must have been pretty proud when mommy came up with her book, and you got to
Absolutely.
share it with him. Did you write it for share share the story with him along the way? Tell us about that.
I actually just wrote it myself. I had this energy and drive to get it finished, and I wanted to surprise him with it. So he didn't get to see it until they sent me the box full home.
Awesome. That's great. That's probably the best way to do it because then it's a really big surprise because then mom's in print.
Mm.
Tell us a little bit. Your background is in psychology. Did it influence the themes of teamwork and friendship that you have in your book?
Absolutely. I see a lot of issues with bullying and things like that that are occurring, unfortunately, in our today's schools. And I wanted to provide something that was positive to encourage children that even though you are different, you can still get together and do things together and be a great team and an excellent friendship.
Absolutely. Give us an overview of the Frenchie Friends Trio story.
Okay, so it's about two original friends, Max and Gunther. They meet and they've been together their whole lives. And then a third friend wants to join their group. And at first, there's lots of fighting and arguing, and they kind of get in a little trouble that
Mhm.
requires them to work together to help each other out, and they complete the task.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the friends, Max, Gunther, Zeno, all have unique personalities that complement each other. Tell us a little bit about the characters.
All right, so Max, he's the oldest. He's a little bit more calmed down, responsible, a little bit more level-headed. Zeno, he's the big guy. He's the muscle guy, likes to do all the heavy lifting. He's always into getting outside and doing that big stuff. And Gunther is the energy ball. He's got all this crazy wild energy. He loves to be silly and jump and play. And so they kind of all complement each other very nicely.
And tell us about some of the issues or challenges that they have to navigate together.
So new environments, new friends. One of their first issues is with their fighting, they scare away another family pet. So they have
Mm.
to come together to work together to find that family pet and bring them home safely.
Wonderful. What age group do you think this book is targeted for? I know it's really enjoyable. I think all kids would enjoy it, whether they're reading it themselves or having it read to them, and they'll learn a lot from it. But did you write it with an age group in mind?
I was hoping for early elementary school, like kindergarten through third grade. They're really just starting into that world of meeting new friends, meeting new people, forming new friendships and bonds. So I just really wanted to influence them that just because you're different or you may not look like the friends over there doesn't mean you don't belong.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about humor and the role it plays in teaching the life lessons in the Frenchie Friends trio.
Well, from my education, humor helps strengthen your memory. And who doesn't love a little humor in their life? Children love funny things. So, to get their attention and to get them to pay a little bit more attention to the story, I incorporated that humor to make it fun for them. I don't want it to just be a lesson. I want it
Mhm.
to be fun and something that's memorable for them.
And this book was just born out of a spark of inspiration that you furiously wrote down. You did it quickly, or did it take weeks, months, years? Tell us a little bit about the writing process.
At first, it was just out of a spark of inspiration of from my son and my dog. And then it
Mhm.
probably took me about 3 months, 3 to 6 months to write it because I just wanted to make sure I had those details in there of the teamwork and make sure it was fun and enjoyable for all my little readers out there.
Absolutely. And the book also deals with themes of diversity and inclusion. Those are pretty important as well.
Absolutely. Along with those differences that I mentioned before, we are a diverse society. We are a diverse country, and this is coming more and more, which is a beautiful thing. And I know some children go to schools or live in places where they don't get to see that as much or understand what that means or what to do or the beauty of it. So I'm hoping that that integration of characters of different backgrounds will help them see that just because you come from somewhere else or you look like somebody else or have a different background does not mean that you can't come together.
Absolutely. Did your experience as a mom shape the way you approach storytelling?
Absolutely. You gotta make it entertaining or they are not gonna want to
Mhm.
read it. That is for sure.
Exactly. That's job number one with all storytelling. It's got to be interesting in order to get the message across. If it's not interesting, you've lost them right away and there is no message. So you've done a great job with that. Have you envisioned this as a video, perhaps a cartoon or a live action film or mini? Tell us a little bit about your multimedia dreams for this project.
Absolutely, Logan. I'm actually working on books number 2 and 3. And
Mhm.
my dream is to eventually come up with a series or a movie or both and have action figures and everything. So everybody can take Max, Zeno, and Gunther home with them.
Sounds great. They'll have you got your merchandise planned already. Everybody will have their three little bulldogs and they'll be all set. I
Yes.
think those would be great. Is this your first time trying your hand at writing a book?
It is. This is my very first book.
Wow, that's amazing, amazing.
Mhm.
And what kind of feedback have you gotten? Have you read it to any children? Have they tell us a little bit about that? I know your son has to be a big fan, but have you read it to
Yes.
any other children?
Yes, I am blessed enough to have a few nieces and nephews who have a pile of friends as well, and they've all been so excited and supportive. They wanted to read my book as well and have me read it to them, and I've had nothing but wonderful, positive feedback. So I'm so grateful.
That's great. Now you've written book one, book two, and three are in the planning stages, or have you written them already?
They're in the planning stages. I have their outlines ready. I just need to sit down and fill in the details.
And what kind of themes would you explore in books two and three?
So books 2 and 3, they're still going to be a team where they're going to need to work together, but instead of being at home, they're going to be going out on adventures and seeing what they can find outside of the home together.
That's great. And any conflict resolution? I know we dealt with themes of inclusion and diversity in this. Are there going to be similar types of lessons that children can learn about in these books?
Absolutely, because Max and Zeno, they are of different backgrounds. They have to come together a lot with their different backgrounds about what their different background has taught them and
Mhm.
how they can bring that together and still work together, even though their background has taught them one thing and their Max's background has taught him something different. They can still compromise and bring that together to form something bigger and better.
Awesome. And tell us about the artwork in the book.
I am so pleased with the illustrator. This was actually the second illustrator that I worked with.
Mhm.
The first didn't go so well. I wasn't as pleased with the characters. And when the second one came out, I so happy. She did a wonderful, wonderful job with all of the characters and make sure to capture that sweet innocence of being young and a puppy and going out on adventures. Very good job.
Now, was it done remotely? Did you work with somebody over the computer and they submitted photos or images of their work? And then you said, I'd like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Tell us how the collaboration worked.
Yes, exactly. I actually worked with someone from London, England,
Mhm.
and we worked over the computer, just like you said, and I sent him my entire transcript, so that way they could kind of get a feel for the book and see what it was about and see what inspired them, and then they sent me back their first drafts, and we proceeded from there.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I guess you got the writing bug now. You're hooked, huh?
Absolutely, you can definitely say that, Logan.
Without a doubt. Tell us a little bit about your professional life, your work as a psychologist. Is it mostly with children?
Mostly I work for myself. I do a lot of consulting for other firms or places.
Hmm.
I don't work with the children a lot in my profession just because a lot of the areas in psychology that work with children have a lot of negative things as a result of circumstances that they've had to live with or grow up with. And I know they need people too, but it's so hard to see that and be a part of it and not bring it home. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's I feel that way about marriage counselors.
yes.
Anybody who's doing any kind of family counseling, divorce lawyers, just like imagine dealing with that toxicity all day long and not having it, spill over into your life, it'd almost be hard. I mean, we see it in police officers all the time. I mean, they deal with the
Exactly.
dark side of life. If you deal in the dark side of life, it becomes part of you. And I can understand why you don't want that to become part of you. Keep that spirit bright and strong, without a doubt.
Thank
And beautiful books like this are helping children, no doubt, as well. The name of the book we've been talking about today is The Frenchie Friends Trio, Origin Story by Dr. Kimberly Nokk. This charming tale follows three Frenchie bulldogs, French bulldogs that are friends, Max, Gunther, and Zeno, as they navigate friendship, teamwork, and humor while solving everyday challenges. It's perfect for all readers, including young elementary school readers. It's a story that is both fun and heartwarming, and a reminder of the power of unity and embracing differences. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
thank you so much, Logan. It has been a real pleasure.
Pleasure's been all mine. Loved having you on the show. I appreciate your insight, your wit, and your wisdom. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.